Hey guys, Mike here, and Meg's here as well.
Hey!
And we have a guest from the UK. Some of you may recognise him. This is Expedition Jack.
Hello.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for looking after me.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we haven't sort of started yet. You might end up falling down here, or you never know.
Away.
So, but Jack's come all the way from the UK. He's spending some time in Sweden. We've parked up here at Stockholm's Gata and just done a short hike up to this viewpoint. We're going to be doing some hiking around this area. The intention was to potentially camp here, but it's kind of real busy this time in Sweden with vacations and everything, so there's a lot of people here. But we are going to be heading out and doing some wild camping a bit later on, some fishing. Jack's got his own YouTube channel, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. So I run a YouTube channel called Expedition Jack. It started off just doing travel videos when I went to Australia.
Yeah.
Went across there, and then sort of developed an interest into the bushcraft world and wild camping because it looks so cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, just developing my skills in that.
Jack's filming too, and he's going to be putting the video out on his channel, sort of, do you say sort of mid-August?
Yeah, mid to late August.
Yeah, I mean
This
it might be
is-
that now when I post this, I just don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, so go over to Jack's channel, I'll put the link in the description, and you can kind of see his whole perspective on his time with us, and also other videos he's doing while he's here in Sweden. But yeah, should we do some hiking?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Might have to have a cup of tea first.
Teaholic.
Yeah, I know. There he is, the video master. Look at all his gear. Show us your clips and stuff. Look at
Clips. So this is how I carry my gear. This is like 2 kilograms worth of weight, or 1.7 I think.
that. The whole camera rig there,
Yeah.
1.7.
The
Yeah.
lens is heavier than the camera
Sure.
itself. And then it
And
just
that just sits there like that, and you just
Yeah.
hike about and do your thing.
in a holster.
So is that actually a thing you can buy, or is this something you've made, or?
You can buy this clip.
Yeah.
This is a spider holster clip.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've had to mod it since my last adventure because I got this new belt which is thicker, 5mm thicker,
Oh, okay.
and this was walking up and pinged off.
You should have bought the MCQBushcraft leather belt. Apparently that
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
happen with that belt. I'm joking, man. Let's go for a Hero 7 as well for
Yep.
extra footage.
So when you're doing like climbing and bits you need both hands for,
Yeah.
you can just do that.
I've seen on your channel, it's very you got your videography is excellent. It's really cool.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. We better get going anyway.
Yeah.
Carrying some weight. Have a little marshy area here. You can see that all these large leaves around. This is all cloudberry, some of which are coming through, just there. But a lot of it isn't ripe yet, which is a shame. Basically hiking around this place for a while, just looking for somewhere to make a fire, but because it's a national park you can't just make a fire anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to find a designated area like this. Where there's no wood, but we can soon fix that. Looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nice.
I've wanted to come here actually. I've seen a few photos of people coming here and it just looks so nice.
Still really getting on well with the aluminium frame.
Yeah.
I did cut it there though, it was a lot taller.
Was it? So you're
Yeah.
saving weight again?
Well, it just kind of
Get it off.
didn't fit in the boot of the car the way I wanted it to. I
Yeah.
had to go lengthways and it took up so much space, and I thought, well, I don't really need this extra pole. It's good when you've got a big bag and you don't want it coming forward, but it doesn't really anyway because of the straps. But
Yeah.
I just put a new handle on this guy, a 26-inch handle I bought at the market for the Holtz Brooks handles, so I've had to mount it differently now. So it used to go along under the back there, but it sits on the side, which
So have you made it longer? A longer handle?
yeah, I just wanted a longer handle because the head's about £2, and it's kind of a heavy head when you think you've got a handle about that long.
Yeah. That's the
So-
one I've got at home.
Yeah,
That back. Yeah.
I mean it's more like a sort of felling axe now, a small felling axe, but it's just really useful. Like in the winter here, the wood gets real hard, And
So you need that.
I just wanted a bit of extra oomph behind the head, and I guess I'll try it out this winter. But it's way more comfortable to use and a bit safer. But yeah. Got these little twigs on as well. Bit of a trampy fire, but it'll do the job. All I can hear is the buzzing of mosquitoes. We've got some nice sort of dry bits of wood as well. Nice bits of birch. Just pop all that on. It looks kind of messy, but it'll be fine. Yeah, that'll do for now, I think.
I find fire is my weak point.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I can get it going, the initial,
That's the main bit.
but then I always put it out. I like put too much on too fast, I think.
Yeah,
It collapses or something.
you should have said before I started I would have done it a slightly different way. I tend to, the more you do things, I think, the bit more blasé you become, and that was kind of a bit of a blasé way of making the fire, but you know, I was quite happy with it. But when you put all the twigs on top, if you use something like called a brace, which is just a thick log near where the initial flame is, so when you put the twigs on, it's not smothering it of oxygen.
Right.
It'll just keep that small gap you need to allow the fuel material to get the air and continue to produce a lot of heat.
Right.
And then it'll be fine. It's usually if you have a big bundle of twigs and you just plonk it on the birch bark, it will go out, because you're just removing one of the three things that the fire triangle requires, really, that you know, you're taking away the oxygen.
Yeah.
Pit stop number 328, is it? 328.
5th meal of the day.
We have to stop basically every 300 metres to cook Meg up a full English breakfast, because obviously she's eating for two now. Just dropped the bomb. God, there'll be friends out there that don't know, get upset. We're gonna have to tell them
Yeah,
before
we're
I
gonna
put this
have to.
video out.
Oh yeah. Do that.
That'll be really bad. How you feeling though, Meg? You alright?
Yeah, fine.
You eating?
All my miso soup went down well.
Yeah. Do you want anything else? I've got my LK is just full of food basically,
For me.
just for Meg. It's about 36 kilos of sort of various kind of organic produce. How are you?
Fine.
Okay. Oh, this smoke's good though. We stopped really for a break because Maggie's hungry, as we said, for good reason. And really, you know, just is a nice little spot to get out from the mozzies, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were pretty intense.
Yeah. The smoke gets rid of them, don't it?
Yeah, they've
it's
all
really
gone.
effective.
Yeah, so although your eyes hurt a bit, it means that
You can just chill. And
Yeah.
Not get bitten. Swollen by muscles.
yeah, exactly. Do you want some more tea?
Yes, please.
This is really an English thing, isn't it?
Thank you. English problems.
Just drinking tea all the time. But it's nice to have a break. The view behind us is absolutely stunning. I've marked this place on the map actually as a potential campsite. Plenty of space on the ground for a couple of bivvies. Bit rooty that side, but
It's
you
nice
know,
and warm as well with the
Yeah,
rocks.
it is.
It's really
Natural
Yeah.
reflecting
shelter,
the
isn't it?
heat.
exactly. If you had a big fire in the middle and it was a cold night, you could really do well in here.
Mm.
The only thing is lack of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only major problem really. So I've put that in the notes on the map that you need to bring at least sort of a few litres with you per person, just to, if you're going to be here a while. You know, for all kinds of stuff, for washing, for hygiene, for drinking, for cooking. Gets used up fast. Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Cheers. Interestingly enough, this place we're in, that was the noise made by the rocks around us. Just kind of letting us know that we have their blessing and that we can, that Jack can fly his drone here. So we had to kind of ask for that first. Sorry. Just talking rubbish again, don't mind me. But this place we're in, you see this wall, these stone walls behind me, was formed by water rushing in and kind of hollowing it out with lots of stone, and a little bit like a washing machine. So over thousands of years it's just created this kind of bowl, and there are lots of these around here. Some are really big, some are really small, but it's a very interesting place. A little bit like when you have white water, and there was kind of a story whether a guy was canoeing, I can't remember, I read it, and he went under the water and went into one of these big boulders and just kind of got span round like a washing machine, and then when the water level dropped they kind of found part of his remains. So kind of the same thing. So pretty cool though. Awesome place to camp, provided the wind wasn't coming straight in. Imagine if it was going straight over the top, that would be pretty cool. Back at the wagon, mobile HQ. So we're going to head on back to Åsele now, and then get prepared for a bit of a hike. And me and Jack are going to go off and find this cabin and maybe get some fishing done as well. So should be good.
That'll be good. Have you seen? Oh, do you need to order it?
Coming out on an adventure with us. He's all buckled up. Well, we just dropped off Meg. She's back at home now, and she's just going to chill for the night. Obviously me and Jack are off out, so we're gradually making our way towards somewhere we can get close to then march to the cabin. But there's a little bit of off-roading involved, and a bit of a rocky logging road and stuff, and then a lot of tracks just like this dirt track we're on now for, I don't know, crikey, a very long time. Yeah, it's kind of like just this for a lot of...
Still very pretty though.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah.
Everywhere you look, there's just something to look at.
Just had a pit stop, gave this guy a drink. He's really excited, aren't you? Gonna go out camping, but you're a bit warm.
Wow. That's incredible that it can handle that.
Yeah.
And the clearance as well.
Yeah, the clearance is pretty good. start here, yeah, and then we'll start hiking.
It's such a random spot, yeah.
Is it? Well, bit of a drive, but we're here. This is the drop-off point, and we're going to leave the vehicle here and then begin a hike through this deforested part here and then down onto a lake and make our way along to the cabin and yeah, see whether it's occupied. So we're just going to get our kit sorted. Mozzies are on me already, so we're going to get the repellent on for me and Jack, and then get our swan dries on, because that wool shirt is the only thing that seems to stop them. They cannot get through it. You ready, boy? You coming with me? Mons, come heat. Mons is going to be carrying all his own gear. Sit, Mons. Sit. Stanna. He carries his own. Stanna, Mons, sit. Sit. Stanna. 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 So you can see he's got all his own food and drinking bowl. Actually, that's hanging off the back of the Jeep drying because I've been feeding him, so we'll get that in his pack as well. Monster's got a bit of an easier time this time also, because we washed him with some shampoo that is for dogs and has repellent in, so I'm hoping the flies will leave him alone. Mons, come heat. Come heat, Mons. Mozzie, come heat. Mons. Sit, Mons. There we go. Got his bowl. Shouldn't need that. There's a river where we're going to, so I have plenty of water. Should be quite happy really in the cabin. There's no mozzies and it's nice and cool. Okay, mate. This thing rattles.
Yeah, at least it's just that.
There you go. Just need to lock it. There we are, the kit.
Need to get some more repellent on.
Yeah, I'm going to put some on too. Got this stuff here, Becoilia, which is basically made from birch bark. My tripod's broken, so I'm really having to do this, but you don't put a lot of this stuff on, just spray it like that and then rub it on you, and it's kind of sticky and horrible.
Smoky bacon.
Yeah, basically. It stinks of smoked sausage. You don't really need to put too much the other side, but the mozzies are intense around here, the flies. Just get it all over you like that. And we should be ready to roll. Yeah. It's kind of another thing I like about the swan dry is that if you're slowly getting fatter like me,
No one can.
it kind of
see.
like you just do that, and you know, just a bit of bagginess there.
When Christmas comes
There
around.
you go,
put the
look.
swanny on.
Absolutely fine. So this is the Mura kind of bog.
Oh yeah.
So you might want to just sort of watch your step, because if you stand on the like really lumpy bits, you won't tend to go through.
Yeah. How deep is it to go through?
Oh, not very. It's, you know, it will encompass your foot. This is moose.
That's moose.
Yeah.
There's moose around here.
Yeah. Because obviously they've forested this area. You know, you're creating a lot of new growth, and it's a good opportunity for the moose to come and eat all the young shoots and things.
Yeah.
Miles! Miles, come eat.
Thundering through.
Big fish come up for flies just over there. In the water, I see some ripples coming out. You see a lot of this lily here on the water. This is probably actually a good place to fish, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that the lures will get snagged quite bad. You need to use like a special kind of lure with like some wire on, so it stops it getting hooked up. But even then, it's not foolproof. Wanna have a go?
Yeah.
You catch something. It's so quiet, isn't it?
It's so quiet. It's so quiet out here. You can't hear anything. And then obviously you hear Mozzie. And you're like,
It's kind of all you can hear, isn't it? Mosquitoes.
so peaceful.
Ooh, see? Right there.
Excited then.
It's actually getting quite late now. Probably about 10. So you can still see we've got plenty of daylight, which is great. But I reckon in a couple of hours it will be a bit gloomier, given we're approaching, well, we've come out of midsummer now. So it's not like endless daylight anymore. It's still kind of pretty bright, obviously, but I wouldn't call it daylight. We decided to make our way to the cabin and abandon the fishing. We had a few bites, didn't we?
Yeah.
But never landed anything. It's a shame, really. I imagine they've only been mouthfuls anyway, Jack.
Yeah.
Given the size of the...
Light snack.
Yeah, exactly. Like a aperitif or something. But yeah, we're just kind of gradually making our way to the cabin along the edge of this lake, and hopefully it won't be occupied and we can chill there for the night. A nice long hike and plenty of mosquitoes, and we've made it to the cabin. The cabin's just in front of us now. We've got a lovely little bridge.
Looks very inviting.
It does, doesn't it? Nice river. That was kind of coming off the lake we just fished at. And there's the cabin. Monts has already got it sussed. And it looks like we've got it to ourselves, Jack. It's kind of a long hike, isn't it? Not really, but it's tough terrain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So here we are in the cabin, and I've just got a bit of backup light. Hung my rod up there, and we've wound the windows up a bit just to let some more light in. It's kind of dark in here. We've got a stove and a pot for water. Someone's left some foamentarius. Some bunk beds. There's Jack getting his kit ready.
Oh yeah.
So he's all sort of sorted out. Little table and some chairs. And yeah, we've just lit a few candles, and I've got my gear just hanging up over there. So yeah, it's a really cosy little place. A bit of respite from the mosquitoes. And this cabin, you know, had originally been used for people working in the forest, really, and around this area. There's not too many like this around, but it's a lovely little place. It's cooler out here.
Yeah. There's a thing, can't open windows, can you?
No.
Got a tree.
Oh wow, good man.
Still
Just
dry
about
as well.
to get an emergency fire going. I'm getting eaten alive, are you?
Still a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Still around.
I think that guy sold us barbecue dressing, not mosquito repellent. Yes, you might.
So well.
What's that?
Fire with it.
Oh yeah. You'll have one soon.
Gonna really try hard now to do that proper birch bark knife.
Yeah, I mean,
You make it look so easy because you've done it
I've
so
done it so many times there. It's the same with you and your camera gear there. Each to their own, eh? To their own trade or whatever you call it. But no. Once you do the birch bark thing, it is a very easy way to make a fire, and there's no shortage of it here.
Yeah,
God, they're all over my back.
yeah.
Might have to put the swan dry back on. At least it stops them getting in. A little bit damp though. God, they're all over me. They are all over me. Dog's hating it too.
How much wood do we need?
How much wood?
Yeah.
Fair bit really.
Okay.
I think you've got enough there.
Okay.
It's cords of wood you've picked up nice and long.
Because there's more of that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What, just big long strips?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Mouse. Vamos. Whew. Warm.
Is it?
Yeah, really warm.
It's the one. What's this called?
Yeah, almost too warm for them. Right, mate. You sleep all right? Go on. Grunty the fatto dog. Whoa. Fire's still going. So I gathered some this spruce here, dead spruce. These dead limbs are really small. There's not really any dry grasses or things like that around here, but this will be pretty useful for creating like a nest of fine materials. Although some of it has some greenery at the end, it's not a problem. There we go. Spruce up the fire. Literally. Flubby. Mouse. Flubber. It's not wrapped. Look at the size of this thing. Are you the wobbler? The big dough dog.
Making pizza.
Yeah, that's what it's like, isn't it? In the kitchen. Well guys, it's the morning and we are fairly well rested, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Had a pretty good night.
Yeah.
How did you sleep?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's nice and cool.
The
Nice and
dog
cool.
didn't wake you up snoring.
Oh, he did once, yeah.
Yeah. I heard him sort of roaming around and thudding about. You know, he's a big old heavy thing on those wooden floors, so he does wake you up a bit. But yeah, it's a nice location. I racked my brain on where to bring you, and we went to Stockholm's Gata earlier yesterday to the national park, mainly for just kind of a hike and, you know, spend some time in a beautiful part of the country. And I thought this is a good spot, provided there wasn't anyone in the cabin, as we've
We've had it all to ourselves, haven't we, in
Yeah.
this location? It's great.
It's a good location because the cabin is really old and it was really created for people working here.
All right.
And it's just kind of then been turned into like a hiking trail cabin, and there's very few as remote as this that you have to kind of like hike to. And you know, most of the time people come here by snow scooter in the winter because it's way more accessible and it's not a really long hike to get here. But I kind of enjoy the struggle,
Yeah.
you know. But
Over the marshland.
yeah, it was nice. I mean,
Yeah.
the mozzies are pretty intense. How did you
yeah,
find it?
yeah, just continuous, and
Yeah,
you try what you sort of know how to get rid of them, but it doesn't work here.
No, they're
There's
intense.
so much water around here, so warm all the time actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they say this year is one of the worst years they've had for mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And for knut and Sveen also, which is like a sort of larger fly, like a big midge, and then one that's half the size of a midge that you'd have in the UK. So it actually comes through the netting, and they can blanket your face.
Showed me they were
crazy.
tiny,
Yeah.
like micro tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not so many here actually, but if you go higher up in the mountains, some areas there's tons of knut and no mosquito, and then here there's just tons of mosquito. So. But then it's typical really, we're by a Mura, which is like a bog, there's loads of water,
Yeah.
you know, there's going to be a ton of flies, so...
Yeah, but if you can deal with it, it's so worth it for the
Yeah,
location.
I mean, we've dealt with it for the last 24 hours, and I'm covered in bites, but they go away, you get used to it, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't reacted at all, which is great,
No.
so some people end up looking like the elephant man when they've been out here for a day, but you know, you're pretty lucky, I think, so... But we also chose this location because there's a fire ban as of about 24 hours ago, and it's not like a complete fire ban. We're still allowed to use designated areas like this concrete pit we have, and when we went to Stockholm Garter, there was a designated concrete sort of fire pit in that bowl we were in.
Yeah.
So again, you know, we can't just be out and make an open fire, it's just too dangerous, like it would spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
Literally.
Be sensible, because it's all pine. Well, immediately around here it's all pine.
Yeah, pine and
like
spruce everywhere, and the
Yeah.
ground is just needle beds and moss, and you know, it'd be really bad. And where we hiked yesterday, you were filming some of the forest fire area
Yes.
that they logged.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, a huge area forest fires.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that it just happens naturally sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes.
it's not even human error. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the train apparently is one of the main reasons it happens. So the spark from the train,
Wow.
on the
That's
steel,
all it needs.
and then you just get this kind of glow, and you know, like an ember, like a tinder bundle, and then. I mean, last year they were fighting like sort of 3 or 4 forest fires a day in this area. And I wouldn't be surprised now that the temps are 32 degrees plus today,
Yeah.
that there's going to be a complete blanket ban on all fires, even the designated pits and stoves too, because you know, it's just too much of a risk really. So
Yeah.
you know, this area I think did us well for considering, you know, the time of year and what we're kind of having to work with. So
Yeah.
it's a really nice place to be.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's amazing that they, even though they don't like to have fire in certain areas, especially like the national parks,
yeah,
they always have designated locations. So
yeah, it's great.
yeah, you're not tempted to sort of be cheeky and go off here when
Yeah.
you're not meant to. But yeah, and the designated locations are just like sort of wild camping, but in luxury sort of
Yeah,
thing. Very luxury
it's really
to our
nice. And
standard. But yeah,
it's really cool. I mean,
really cool. You got that access to that stuff.
yeah, it's a nice country for wilderness access. I think.
Yeah. I wish England had something like that. But
Yeah, I know. I mean, if they just did designated areas like in the Lake District or some of the national parks,
people would
there,
use them.
yeah, they would.
And they would respect the land around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Just
think it's a
provide
brilliant
some
idea.
wood, some wood, and like. I mean, you're not going to get a forest fire in the UK very easily. The
No.
climate's just too damp sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
There was one last year, not forest fire, but a moorland fire.
Okay.
Like peat bog. Peat. Yeah, peat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like-
Up on the Peak District, Northern Peak District. And now this year they've been quite strict on it. They've put police vans around with a big camera on a pole to try and get
Is it-
people on a.
Just
tell
a
us to put
deterrent,
vans.
or is it a real thing?
Probably a deterrent, but it's just what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen the vans, seen the marketing for it, so
Okay.
yeah. But they're
Yeah.
taking it very seriously, because that burn of the moorland lasted for about a week to 2 weeks, and people were there trying to just put it out, but it's such a slow burn under the ground. It's
Yeah.
crazy long. So.
I mean, that's the problem with here. Like you get one of those creeping fires that goes under the needle bed and just smoulders out, and then it pops up somewhere else, and then you start digging it up, and you're fighting like this kind of bizarre shape,
Yeah,
and it's
this
just really
fusion
hard to
fire.
control. And you know, a lot of this wood round here, it's all, as you say, you got birch, you got spruce, you got pine. It's all very kind of, you know, it's prone to going, isn't it? But I hope you've enjoyed yourself anyway.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Immensely
Yeah.
enjoyed myself. You really looked after me for
Oh, that's
24
right,
hours.
you know.
Yeah.
We nearly died off road the other.
I know, yeah.
yesterday.
But it was fun.
You know?
It's something I've wanted to try for ages and ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah,
It's kind of nice when you've got a vehicle like that, and you know there's some old gnarly tracks, and you know you can kind of get a bit closer to some areas without kind of doing like a monstrous hike, but with it from a regular car. But it's fun as well, and there are loads of accessibility around for stuff like that. But you know, go over to Jack's channel and check out his version of this trip. He's also filming the next 8 days, or 9 days actually.
Well, yeah, 9 days down in Hoogerkusten.
I don't know, don't look at me. Hoogerkusten, so I guess that's below Umeå.
Yes.
So you know, on the coast he's going to be wild camping, he's going to be bivvying, he's going to be doing all kinds of stuff. So you know, check out his channel, he does some real cool stuff, and with a background in videography as well, as he is a professional really. He's taught me tons in this video about videography and about my setup, which I think he was kind of shocked to see.
Yeah, I found it really interesting because I watch people's videos and I always love to know what kit they use, and Mike does an amazing job with what tools he uses. He's pushing them to the brink.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah,
but you know,
do an amazing job, mate.
Well, thanks very much, that means a lot coming from you.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming, and
yeah, thanks for looking after me.
Yeah, no problem. You know, you'll have to come back, and thanks for watching, guys, and you know, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Bye.